Okay, let's briefly talk about genetization and biosociality. So, when employers are ready to make you an offer, they don't make you an official offer before they do a few more things. They are going to do credentializing. It means they will contact your registrars to make sure you actually got your degrees from these universities. And then they may do a credit check, and then they may do a criminal background check, and then they will do other types of background checks. We already have to jump through 4 hoops to finalize our offer letter. Do we want employers to do genetic testing on us to see if we are genetically predisposed or genetically susceptible to certain disease or illnesses? We already have to jump through 4 hoops I can think of: credentializing, credit check, background check, criminal check. So, because of technological advancement, it facilitates a way for people to check whether we are genetically predisposed to certain disease or illnesses. But the implications are always social. This is what we mean by genetization. It's an attempt to understand human behaviors in terms of genes. And there are 2 implications associated with this concept. Genetization assumes that genetic differences form the basis of our individual differences. And it also assumes that the grouping of individuals are based on genetic diseases. And because of that, it assumes that siblings or twins would develop the same health problems or other problems, behavioral problems, and so on. So, according to genetization, the interaction between biology and our social environment is going to determine our phenotype traits. This in turn determines our identity. So, according to the pages from this book, researchers have found that our genes can determine our brain size, and this in turn determines our cognitive performance and our skills. And researchers also found that genes also correlate with our tolerance towards people with different sexual orientation. And because of that, discovery of new genetic issues through the process of genetization or eugenics can lead to new social problems. And because of the process of genetization or discovery of new genetic issues, it can also change the nature of social stratification. Now, people are stratified by race, ethnicity, gender, education, income, wealth, or their residence. And the process of genetization can or may add to new dimensions of stratification, new but unknown. And the process of genetization can also change the nature of stigmatization of disease. And it can add to another layer of stigmatization of disease because discoveries of new genes or new breakthroughs related to genetic research can add additional layers to stigmatization of disease. So, in other words, because of this process, people may be stigmatized in new and different ways. So, biosociality means that our identities are formed based on biological and social domains through electronic means, the computer or the internet. This concept assumes that social network can be formed based on genes discoveries. Because of the conceptualization of biosociality, people can either be more informed or more empowered to understand a given disease, or they can become more ignorant due to the lack of access to the internet. Maybe they don't know how to search for information online, or they don't know how to use new technology and infrastructure. I'm sure you heard of the word digital divide. And this digital divide can cause health inequalities later on. So, these are manifestations of biosociality. With coronavirus going on, there are different online platforms. And sometimes these platforms or forums have a health focus. They talk about prevention, how to get tested, and so on and so forth. And they are also different websites pertaining to breast cancer, prostate cancer, or other illnesses and diseases. These are all different manifestations of biosociality. So, in my humble opinion, our education, income, occupation, and so on determines our health knowledge or literacy. This in turn affects our awareness of genetization and biosociality. This awareness of genetization and biosociality in turn affects how we think about the process of medicalization and the social construction of illness. And our awareness, as mentioned before, of these two concepts can add new dimensions to social stratification or change the nature of social stratification.